personal. It's personal between me, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
Manager Peter, you're also a great boxing mind. You're also a fan of the sport, as we all are. I wanted to kind of ask you, like, apart from the guys in your stable, who's the fighter in boxing that get you the most excited? Like when they have a fight sign and you see they're fighting, who gets you the most excited in boxing these days?
You know, I enjoy watching good matchups, right? It's you know, I don't think it's so much any particular person, right? I mean, I'll say this: I enjoy watching Tyson Fury fight when he fights a big fight.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like the Wilder fights, I love watching those fights. I do like watching Canelo when he fights a competitive fight. I mean, there's Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I mean, I'm naming these big names. I love Bam, love Jesse Rodriguez, Chocolatito and Estrada. I could watch those. I could watch those two guys fight every week. But that's like a treat, you know, like getting fights like that. And when promoters are able to put those fights together, it's like a gift for boxing. But there's so many great fighters with all the promoters. You know, look, I'm a manager, so I work with all the promoters. I like Virgil Ortiz. I like Ryan Garcia. I like Devin Haney. I like Josh Taylor. I mean, guys that I feel. Prograis and Cepeda. Someone had to lose that fight, but you know, those are two great fighters.
Nobody lost to me.
You know what I mean? Like, but someone has to lose. But it's like that's what making great fights, right? I think Prograis is going to have a good year. There's just so many. I mean, I'm leaving. Never Red Days. I mean, I could just go up and down the list of
Better be Evan Bivol.
I mean, yeah, so many good guys, and John Ennis, so many young guys that.
Well, I guess I'll frame the question differently. What matchup would you like to see the most in the sport? What gets Peter like really excited?
You know, I don't get so caught up in like other people's matchups per se, meaning I don't think about it as much. But what I would love to see Canelo and Jermall Charlo. I would like to see, and even if they fought at a catch weight.
Interesting,
right? Go to catch weight, right? Or Benavidez, and I think that like watching Canelo fight in his better weight class between 60 and 68. I think, you know, why does it have to be for a title? Why do we have to put belts on the line? Yeah, I think fans at this point. Championships are great, but I think that if some of these fights were even made at catchweight, who cares? Yeah, it just, you know, you get them at
the best fights.
Make the best fights. So I do believe that if Canelo could fight Bivol again, and that was a catchweight, it could be interesting. I don't even know if that's possible, but you know what I'm saying, right? I just, you know, I would like to see. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things I could say. So many. If I went through each division, there's so many.
We'd be here all day.
Yeah, so many good fights. I mean, Shakur Stevenson. I like watching him fight. I love watching my guys fight. But you know, it's like peaks and valleys, right? You know, sometimes you have champions, sometimes you have contenders, sometimes you have prospects, sometimes you have all of them, and it just matters. It's just where are they at in the cycle.
Okay. What would you say, Peter, is like the biggest misconception of being a boxing manager? Because, you know, there's this negative stigma about managers and promoters in boxing. The fans will say that, you know, managers are this and managers are that. From your perspective, what do you feel gets misunderstood about being a boxing manager?
I think people don't understand the scope of what we do. So, you know, it's funny, in boxing we're managers. In any other sport we'd be an agent. Right, in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball,
you'd be Scott Boras, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Be an agent, right? Yeah. But in boxing, we're managers, because in boxing you also have booking agents that help find opponents and put fights together. So you know, I think that one of the big misconceptions is the scope of what we do. My family knows, because they know that I'm on 24/7. They know that that I'm on call. I think that people don't understand how difficult it is to navigate. Just look at the math. There are, on average, 2,000 active fighters in every weight class, 16 weight classes in boxing, okay? And active is defined as having fought in the last 12 months, okay? So that's 32,000 active fighters. In order to fight for a world title, you have to be in the top 15 of either the IBF, WBC, WBO, or WBA to be eligible. You can't fight for a world title if you're not in the top 15. Now, that means that in every weight class, there's a potential of 60 people that could fight out of those 2,000. But a lot of those guys are rated in all the weight classes. So it's even less than that. Probably closer to 35 or 40. Boxing is something that these guys can't compete every week. So let's say guys are fighting 2 to 3 times a year at that level. Guys could be waiting a decade for their title shot. If you don't have the right manager and the right promoter, you are getting nowhere.
It's true.
So it's not just about, and I don't know what people think managers do, but what we do is we help develop the talent from day one. Sometimes we work with talent that has been around but needs to get to that next level.
Yeah.
And then it's knowing how to work with the promoters, and it's understanding how to make sure that the fighters are getting the right fights, that they're getting paid properly. And believe me, you don't leave it in the hands of the promoters, because the promoters they could have 100 fighters on the roster. And so imagine they're working for all those fighters, and to them it's the fighter's just a line item. It's just a profit and loss situation for them. But for the fighter, it's about, when are they going to get their opportunity? How are they going to put food on the table? How are they going to build a future? How are they going to build a legacy? How are they going to build financial security? Because ultimately that's
life after boxing,
Of course, life after boxing. That's what they're in it. And that's why and the window's short. So let's just say they have at best a 10-year window, and they have to earn that money. And it's not a secret with me. I take 10% from fighters, which is nothing. Historically, managers could take up to 33 1/3%. Some still take 25 and 20 and 15%. So I always say, who's going to do what I do and know what I know for 10%. What I take for? So if you find something better, and I could tell you I'm friends with the other top managers in boxing: Keith Connolly, David McWater, Rick Morigian. These are guys that I talk to all the time. That we can't have everybody. What I mean? But I think that people don't realize the amount of work that actually does go in. It's we don't just make a phone call, and it's also having leverage. If you don't have leverage,
be in the right position.
If you don't have leverage, how are you getting guys signed? Some of them are no-brainers, right? Some of them are no-brainers. A guy goes to the Olympics, Keyshawn Davis wins a silver medal. It's a no-brainer.
Can't miss.
Right? He's gonna be a very good pro, or even like a Jared Anderson. Coming out of the amateurs, he's gonna be even Xander. Okay, that wasn't complicated. That wasn't difficult. But there are guys that have to take a different path, and that's where you have to work with. That's where you have to work with a manager that can help you navigate that path and can utilize the leverage they have to get you with promoters and get you opportunity. So that's kind of like the short answer.
It's a pretty good answer.
But that's I think that a lot of people don't realize. But a manager is a father figure, a friend, somebody that has to sometimes tell them things they don't want to hear. The manager has to be a go-between sometimes with the trainer and the promoter, and there's a lot of politics, and there's a lot of what's the right word? You
gotta manage personalities.
You gotta manage personalities. Yeah. And then look, everybody comes with family, and there are parts of it I don't like fight week when I'm managing tickets and who's getting tickets and sitting where and doing this and doing that, and it's also just making sure that these guys are taken care of. At the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're taking care of them and that you're giving them the best opportunity to succeed. So it's a tough sport.
Yeah, very toughest.
It's a tough sport. Exactly. It's, in my opinion, it's just the toughest sport, like you said.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to hold you up too much longer, Peter, because I know you're a busy man. Your time's valuable. But any final message you want to give to the boxing world?
Keep watching boxing. Go to boxing events. Tune in. Watch the fights on ESPN. Watch the fights on DAZN. Watch the fights on Fox. Watch the fights on Showtime. Watch the fights on Fight. If you love the sport, keep watching boxing. Keep talking about boxing.
Supporting it. Yeah.
Support boxing. It's a great sport. There's such a great subculture within the sport. keep tuning in.
Yeah, all right. Peter Kahn, thank you for talking to True School Sports.
Thank you. Always.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.